we are going to see uh, two end of axis common parameter. Uh, so, the you cannot say this is 2D machining because why by doing x y movement you cannot do any milling. So you need z movement also. So uh, so if it is moving in x y and the depth it is has to move in the z. So that's the reason it is called the two end of axis. It exactly if you mean at any moment of the time any two axes will move either xy or xz or yz. So like this it will work. So if you move in xy, then xy if it is moves in xy, then z will not move, and when z moves, then xy will not move. So this is how it is work. So at any moment of the time, two axes will work. It may be the xz or xy or yz. Okay. So it is called the two end of axis machining. Now we see common parameters. We'll take one small example of a rectangle and we'll do contouring. This is the first window. So by in this window you can see which toolpath you have selected. It shown in the gray. You can see here which geometry you have selected. That is visible, and if you want to rechain or add chain, that you can click it from here and you can add it. So in case it is a solid model means solid model will be visible here. Some places you don't want to machine, you can use this avoidance region also. So here you can give the avoidance region. Next page is the tool window. So now we see go one by one in the list. So by right click you can get the tool, or from get from library. From there you can take the tool. So now you can see the tool number, diameter offset number, length offset number, all is seen here. Okay, so it is very important. Always edit as per your machine tool library, or otherwise how you have loaded your tool in the ATC, the same way tool number has to be kept. So whatever the tool number you are going to give, the same number is going to come as a 2T as a tool number, length offset number H to H, G43H it will come, and diameter for D value it is going to come for the diameter. Okay. So now I just select the G code and I regenerate and show you how this diameter offset number, length offset number and tool number are interrelated. So T118, H118, okay. It is come directly from the tool offset number and the length offset number. So suppose your tool number is 1 and your length offset and diameter offset number is different, then there will be a issue. So to avoid this, always keep whatever the tool number and the same will be your diameter offset number and length offset number. That is the best way of programming practice. So you can edit the tool by right click, and in the next page you can edit the uh, one. So you can see you can modify your speed rate, spindle speed, all the things you can modify here. CS I given 150 and feet per tooth. Uh, okay. So now you can see the tool number, length offset number, diameter of offset number are changed. So now the output is going to come tool offset number, length offset number, and H1 and D1. You can see all these things. It means T1 tool number 1. So ATC pocket 1 it should be. Uh, so it should have 10 mm flat end mill it should be, and the so it should based on your machine, whatever the tool number there here T1 and the same should be there in the machine. Okay. Always your tool number program and the same should be there in the machine. Okay. So now we understood about the what is tool offset number and length offset number. What is head here? This head it's generally not used here. So where it is used, where there is a more than one head is used, that situation they use head option. Otherwise there is no meaning of it. Okay. The diameter offset means this cutter compensation control if you use, it will come G42 or G41. Okay. So the cutter compensation half is G40. Okay. So now in this program I will change the cutter compensation to control. So now you can see that I just regenerated. Now you generate the NC file. So now you can see here. So G41 or D1, T1 and H1. So length offset, diameter offset and the tool number all are related to each other. This G40 is the cutter compensation cancel. I reset to normal. We'll see detail later on. Okay. So, so it's a generic common parameter understanding. That's all. So you can give your feed rates, drill speeds here, and here in the right click you can reinitialize and read from the default values. This is a feed rate 1500 something is given. Our plunge rate is less. So feed movement is movement of the tool in the XY direction. Plunge rate means movement of the tool in the Z direction. So always the movement of the tool in the Z direction always should be less than the feed movement. So always the plunge rate should be less than your feed rate. Retraction you can keep rapid. Uh, you can switch on the force tool change. So this, if you switch on, you are forcibly each and every operation you are trying to change the tool. It is required, you can use it, otherwise you leave it. You can filter, you can switch on and switch off, understand what are the tools is visible there. But don't touch this one here. So here there is a command. In this command you can give any information if you want to give it to the programmer, that you can give it here. So this will come as a comment in the program. So just we have given a comment after machining, check the surface finish. So now I just regenerate and show you. So whatever we have written there, it will seen in the comment. You can see here. So this is how the comment is going to help us. So this is all about the first page. So the second page is about the tool holders. This tool holders, so there is a tool holder library also available. You can make your own tool holder by giving the data. So by varying the size, you can make your own tool holder. We will see detail about this how to make tool holder. Otherwise, you go directly open library. You can see BT40i selected. So this is a standard library. From there you can take any tool holder and modify. That is also possible. Edit holder. So now you can see here. This is next. Each and every segment you can define here, and a little modification if you want to do, you can do it. Actually, this tool holder is to see that whether any possibility of rubbing of tool holder on the material. This to check the gauges in the surface area. All these things only it is, but it is nothing to do with the NC file. Okay, you can make your own library and save it in the separate. Okay. So this is all about the tool holder. Okay. So this holder definition is useful during the NC file simulation, or not NC file means NCA file simulation. So while doing the virtual simulation, you can see that whether there is any any rubbing over the material or any other kind of dashes that you can understand. So next is the cut parameter. Uh, this cut parameter is important thing. So now we will see overall only. So this is about the cutter compensation. Computer control wear and compensation of all these options are available. But if you select the control, then you will get to G42 or G41. Even you can switch off this compensation control itself off. Okay, so this is the to set the cutter compensation. So next is the tip compensation. The tip compensation always should be in the tip. So in case this is uh, sometimes you make mistake if you keep center option in the ball and mill. So it is always advisable to keep the tip compensation. Next is it roll around the corner. This is nothing but the edge strategy. If edge is coming means how the mastercam has to behave. Okay, how that tool has to behave on the edges. There is option sharp and roll around corner. These are the options. If you want at the internal corners and external corners some additional radius, if you want to add that, you can add it. So this window is to provide add the stock or leave the stock for finishing. If you want to leave the stock on the wall or bottom, that you can give it. So in this contour types are there, ramp, remachining, oscillate machining. These all options are there. So this is not comes under the common parameters. You can see this detail in separate method. This another video. Okay. This all whatever the common thing only we are going to see here. So the cutter compensation you will see it in this separate. Okay. So the compensation left right means that the tool the how we are considering left and right compensation. When you right click on the chain, you can see a big arrow and a small arrow. So if you stand back side of that big arrow, so now you can see that the small arrow is showing the left hand side. That is your left hand compensation. So if you want to change to right side means you change the compensation right. Now you can regenerate. You can see that the toolpath is generated inside. This is all about the compensation left or right. Now you can see in the chain that a small arrow in the right side. Now you understand what is compensation left or right. You can see in the uh, compensation tip. You can see that how the calculation will take place. So now we'll say corner strategy none. Let us see that how it is look like. This toolpath is it's uh, sharp at the corner. Now I will change it to sharp and I will regenerate. Now you can see there is a small radius is added now. What is the advantage of this strategy? Why why there is a need of a small radius? Suppose example. So now you have started the program. So the tool moves in straight line, so it starts to move in x, x, x. So it moves in the G01. So once it comes to the end, x has to stop. So x has to stop, y movement has to start. So at the end, x feed rate 0, and at the end it has to stop, and then the y-axis movement has to start. Okay. Now I kept none and regenerate. Now current situation, the tool has to move now the tool has to move in x. So now it's moving the x. Okay. So what happened here? X has to stop. Okay. Then y has to start now. So the x has to stop suddenly, and the y-axis has to start. Okay. So there may be acceleration, deceleration also there. So by this, one axis has to stop and other axis has to stop. This may be chances to make a jerky motion. So because of this, machine life may be possible to reduce. Okay. So to avoid this, they have given the option called short. So if you give the short means, the tool will uh, will move on y-axis, then it automatically move in the radius. So from it comes very fast, and its x-axis slowly reduces, and the it hand over the movement to the y-axis slowly. So this hand holding between the x and y-axis will take place very smoothly. So that will increase your machine life. Okay. So this is the corner strategy. This is the corner strategy. So always this is default sharp is on. So internal corners, if you want to add additional radius, you can add that. So now we'll see about this. So next is a stock to leave. If you want to leave some stock, you can leave it. So in wall, I just want to leave 1 mm stock. So just I will regenerate. Now you can see from the top view. So this is the 1 mm stock on the wall. Okay, I zoom it and show you. So this is the stock to leave. Stock to leave, if we say 0 means, and regenerate. Now you can see that there is no stock material left out. If you don't want to leave, then you can keep this stock material 0. In case if you want to do a finishing operation after this, you can keep the stock material. So next is the type of cutting methods that will. So now the next 2D curve and 3D curve, it based on the whatever the profile you are selecting. Based on that, it will going to switch on and switch off. If you we'll see this compensation as a separate lecture. Okay. Next, we'll come to the depth of cut. Suppose if you want to cut 20 depth, you are not going to cut in the single shot. So depth by her depth, each depth you are going to give some depth and you are going to machine. Then so if you want a finish cut, you can add one finish cut and how much the step over for finish cut, that also you can add it. This option keep tool down, you can use it. So it will not move to the retraction plane. It will move to the feed plane and go to the next operation. That is the advantage. So the next is the use for subprogram generation. Uh, the subprogram means there should be a main program. Subprogram will be a small program that will be every time will be called by the main program. So that is called the subprogram. So nowadays nobody uses the subprogram. So the old machines doesn't have the memory capacity. That time they will use this subprogram for programming. But new machines comes with the huge memories. No need for subprogramming. And now I just modifying to show you the subprogramming, and I just regenerated. Now xy is not going to change, but z is going to change every depth. Okay, so for main program, all your z value will be added, and the subprogram xy coordinate. So the subprogram will have the xy coordinate. So this is the subprogram and the main program concept. Okay. Now you can see here inside the folder there is one more folder. Okay. I will generate the NC file and show you. So like this is going to generate. So now it is calling the subprogram M98 to M98 P101. Okay. So once the subprogram ends, it is goes to the retraction plane. Okay. Next depth it is calling the same subprogram. Okay. So here this is the subprogram. Okay. So M99 is the subprogram end. M98 is the subprogram call. And this is the main program. So always the subprogram will be called in the main program. Now you can see that simulation. So it goes to the retracted plan and it is cutting again. Okay, it goes every time the retraction plan. So now what I am going to do is I switched on the keep tool down. I regenerate. Now you can see that it goes cutting. It is not going to the retraction plane. Directly it is goes to the Directly it is cutting. It is not at all retracting at all. It is uh, every place you cannot use it. So if there is a material over then definitely it will plunge there. So if there is a free space available, then only you can use this option. Otherwise, it will make a problem. Um, Next is so depth of cut direction is down only. Step up is used when there is a undercutting option. And what is undercut means? If you see from the top view, it is not visible. So that is undercut machining. Now it's very too early to explain the undercut machining now. Next is the by contour by depth option is here. Uh, so this contour depth and this we'll see separately. Next is the this taper machining. So we can give a positive taper here. So now you can see in the front view. So a little angular machining is possible, but it's showing step by step. It shows. So it will come. Edge will be there. Edge will be a step. Will be there. If you select tool in tab permission, it will not allow subprogram because XI is that always change in each every line. So it will not allow a subprogram in the tab permission. Okay. By depth and by contour option is there that always we use by contour. By depth option we use when there is machining of a very thin material. Other places this may not be much useful. Okay, always by depth option uh, by contour option will be used. This will be used mostly in the routing application. I'll make you one small example to show you a by depth option. Uh, from this, now I want the outer profile. This all round has to be cut and removed. Okay. So what is the difficulty you are going to come across here? So that the gap between these two cutout will be very less. Suppose if I put the tool and cut entire depth, then next pass if I cut the other profile. So because of this thin gap, there may be chances of tear in the edges or maybe chances of wobbling. So for that reason, now we'll take a tool and I'll say pocket machining. I'll select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and tool will take so 10 tool. Stock I'll keep 0. Now we are coming here. Okay. Now I'll keep very less depth of cut here, 0.2 mm. By if you cut by a pocket, so suppose the sheet thickness is about uh, 0.8 thickness sheet metal it is. So now zero point 0.8 material you are cutting a depth of cut of 0.2. So it means 4 times it has machined. Okay. Oh, sorry, I should have given minus here. Okay, minus 0.8. So if you see here, 4 times it might have cut. Okay, 3, 4 times. Okay. So if you cut like this, one complete pocket is cutting, and next going for the next. So next in between area will be the weak area. So there may be chances of change in the shape or wobble or even break. To avoid this only, there is a option available here. So you can see here in between these two also, there is very less width. So now for this thin material only, this by depth option will be useful. So now how it is going to cut? Yeah, always point 2, it will cut in the all pocket first, then it will go to the next point 2 on the next depth. So by doing so, the load always uniform on entire area. So there will not be any chances of shape change or wobble or tear and the edges. Okay. So load will be uniformly distributed and you will get the correct shape chop. Okay. So you understood what is by depth and by contour. So far what we have seen on the depth page we have seen. So in cut parameter we have seen. Okay. Then the first page we have seen and the second page we have seen. In the third page we have seen. Fourth page also we have seen. So general parameter only we are seeing. So there is no issue whether you do it in the pocket or contour. So always it's the same. So next is the pocket related one things are there that we will see separately. So now we are concentrating only on the common parameters. So just we have taken one small contour tool path and we just try to see that what are the parameters. So here also in the contour type we are going to see separately. So this what is common for both uh, so in the next class we'll see remaining lead in and lead out. Uh, So here this compensation and the contour type, this two we have not seen. This we will see separately. This is specific for the contour toolpath. Okay, this thing will not come in the pocket parameter. So we are concentrating only on the common parameters. Okay. So remaining thing we'll see in the next video. So putting everything in the single video, it is too difficult. Okay. So we'll see in the another video remaining common parameters. Thank you.